My entire name is Alem Sahai, actually, but it's better Alem, it's shorter, easier.
And yeah, where are you from? So can you talk a little bit about yourself?
I am from Asmara, Eritrea. According to many people, the most beautiful city in Africa, but this is just an opinion. Eritrea is a beautiful country, and Asmara is the most beautiful city in Africa.
I would love to be there one
Yeah,
day to see
yeah,
exactly how it is.
yeah.
This is a plan to travel in Africa, and Eritrea is one of the places that I really want to go. But let's talk about yourself as entrepreneur, as a businesswoman, which is you don't find many. I would like you to start telling me what exactly you do.
What exactly I do is I cook. I cook for a living, actually. I am kind of a chef, breakfast chef in one Scandi hotel. But then in the meantime, how can I say, I have been always cooking since I was 17 or 18. But I never thought that it can be a profession. It's just something I like to do. And it's not about cooking African food or other country food. I like to cook whatever it is. And I like to learn the recipe, and I like to play with it. So make it my own in somehow, you know. Yeah.
But how did you start cooking? Where this idea, this inspiration is, from mom, from the neighbors in the country where you grew up, and how did you start cooking?
I think I start cooking. I think I start cooking, trying to find my identity somehow, because I grew up in Italy, and Italy is, you know, it's all about food and fashion, and for me, growing up with Italian in somehow in Italian school with Italian people, I always felt like something was missing, you know, and that the thing that was missing was maybe that something make me feel close to find myself in somehow. Not to become a chef or to become a cook or to become whatever, but just to find myself, to find my roots, and through cooking I find.
You were born in Eritrea,
yeah.
But now you're telling me that you know, you've been in Italy. How come you end up being in Italy?
My mom left Africa in '76, and me and my brother and other two sisters, we were still in Eritrea with our grandma, auntie, and fathers. And in '76, yeah, '76. And it's just after like 6-7 years that she took us in Italy with her. So we were separate for many years.
So then, as we know that Italy is one of the, as you already mentioned, that is food fashion.
Yes.
So then being in Italy, that give you that sense of understanding cooking and fashion.
I think what made me understood Italy or Florence is that Florence is beautiful. Wherever you go is art. Wherever you go is like something that you are out of breath, you know. And I knew since I was really 10 years that Florence was something special. And if you, I don't know, yeah, it's just Florence. So if you move from Eritrea, Asmara, that is beautiful, and then you are just a child, you see Florence, that is completely the opposite of Asmara. Asmara is really futurist, it's really modern, it somehow is really modern, and then Florence is like history, you know. It's just old and.
I'll come back to the kitchen or food. But you also said that you were educated as a designer.
Yeah.
Tell me a little bit about this, your side of being designer.
I think it's because I always knew that I like to do different things, you know. I never thought I want to become a doctor, I want to become a fashion designer, or I want to become a chef, or whatever it is. I knew that I like many different things, and I have to find something that can put together all of them. And food was that, because wherever I cook Eritrean food, I can see the spice in my design. I can see my design, the colors of the food. So it's, I don't know, it's like everything is there. I don't have to find it in somewhere other places.
And you still doing designing of clothes these days? That is.
Not now. I mean, the last time I was doing this, maybe it's like before to move in Denmark. Even at that time, I was doing it, but not really as much I would like to do that. But yes.
So what is missing? Why don't you go and start seeing you in a big fashion design company here in Copenhagen? Or?
Because it's something that I want to do in my own. I don't want to work for nobody else. It's like food, you know. It's something that belongs to me. I would like to do it in my own terms. It's not easy. I'm in the fashion industry. You need to invest a lot, money, time, and it's something that I would like to do when I am ready enough, and I would like to get older doing that. So it's like my last plan to do in life.
That's really fantastic.
Yeah.
There is a specific. Now we're talking about the clothes as well, but we come back to food. There is a specific clothes design in Eritrea that people like a national dress use there.
It is, and is mostly white compared to other African countries. I think Eritrean clothing is really different.
It's the same as like Ethiopia, right?
Ethiopian, Eritrea.
They use,
no, it's the same.
The
It's
white clothes.
The white clothes.
Can you tell me exactly? Because I see, for example, Ethiopian airline when you go in, like
this white thing,
white and stuff like that. Explain to me.
It's
weird.
weird.
The same, right?
It is the same.
Okay, just tell me exactly how it is that kind of clothes, because sometimes I never get a chance to ask the people there.
Yeah, I think what makes Eritrean clothing is that usually in other countries in Africa we have the fabric with design, but then you come in Eritrea and Ethiopia, mostly of the part of the clothing is white, totally white, right? There is only one part that is the bottom part of the dress that is patterned with design, colors. But
the fabric is
it's cotton, it's organic, it's handmade.
Okay, let's come back to the food. What the things that you're doing right now? You're a chef. You work in one of the chain hotels here, and your own kitchen that you start now. Can you tell a little bit about what are you starting? The company that you're starting recently.
The company that I mean, it's not a company that I start now. When I moved in Denmark, it was like 5-6 years ago. I want to keep doing what I really like, that is cooking, and it's art, it's music. I'm not good in only cooking. I really like and need to have all of those things, the art, the music, all going on.
All combined.
Yeah.
Okay,
if it's just cooking, I really know I will get bored, and I'm not good in doing business only making food. For me, all of it comes together, you know. It's like if I don't have the music, I don't have the food. If I don't have the food, I don't have the art. So I always try to put all those together, and this is what I was doing in Italy for almost 12 years. I had a restaurant called African Sky.
You had already a restaurant in Italy?
Yeah.
I want to know about that restaurant, but anyway, explain what it is now here.
In here is just kind of, I had a cafe in Copenhagen for almost 1 year, and didn't work because it was a small place and not the right location, maybe the right concept, but not in the right place. And so I shut down in 7-8 months. And then it came this opportunity that is a collaboration with the municipality. And it's a beautiful place. and we are doing vegan in the meat market. That is kind of a contradiction or provocation, whatever. And the idea was to use this beautiful space, and the collaboration is good because again we go back and then I can have music, art, and then keep cooking. So it's a new challenge, but yeah.
Talk about provocation. You are that kind of woman like to provoke, because you are doing a vegan restaurant in
meat market.
Meat market.
Yeah, I don't like to provoke, but I think it's we are in 2020, and I think many people are going in that direction. So I thought that was also a good idea to do something like this in this place. It's not a I mean, I'm not a provocative person. It's just I don't know. You say it.
And how is the response from both people, blacks in Denmark or immigrants, and the Danish when it comes to supporting the?
But right now, I think it's mostly. How can I say it? It's mostly Danish people, and of course our friends and family supporting us in somehow. And we actually opened after the coronavirus thing going on. So I think we are lucky enough that we are doing this, and then it's doing good. But it's mostly new people, Danish people, kids, young people. And it's also nice to see that they are the young kids, that they are more focusing saving the planet in somehow. We are not running this place like with a specific identity. It's not Pan-African, it's not Italian, it's not Danish. If you see our menu, it looks like almost random, because we cook Italian, we cook African, we cook a little bit of soft Danish. But the idea was to have an open kitchen when everybody can join us anytime. So if you give an identity to your menu or to your restaurant, then in somehow you are shutting down the doors to many people. And for me, the idea when I started working at this project was to have as much as people from other country, wherever from they will come, doesn't matter. If they like to cook, if they love food, if they won't join us, it's just an open kitchen. It's not a project designed by me, for me. It's almost designed by me, but it's almost for everybody.
You say something which is it just struck my mind, is about that people right now, they are leaning towards saving the planet, and then you doing vegan food. Can you just tell a little bit about this vegan, saving the planet, the awareness of people to change the planet?
What we are doing with food, of course, can make this world better or worse, because we are not only eating because we need to eat, we are just exceeding in everything. It's like we just need more and more, more food, more clothing, more accessories, more stuff. And for me, vegan, it's not. For me, veganism is not like something new or something fancy. I come from a country that we are fasting like 270 days a year. So for us, it's just normal. But then you come in Europe, it's like something going on, something new, something fancy, something trendy. But for me, it's not. I saw my grandma fasting almost every week for 3 days a week.
But why the Eritreans fast so much, and why do
because
they
they are mostly vegan? Orthodox.
Yeah, okay.
And when you are Orthodox, it comes with it that you are also fasting. It's according to the religion, the Bible, and so that's why it's maybe also our food is more. How can I say it? It's you have to cook vegan, because according to our religion, during the fasting period, you cannot have food like milk or eggs or meat or whatever it is. So for me, it's just normal to eat vegan stuff. I'm not totally vegan, actually.
Oh.
Almost there. I'm not totally vegan. Almost there. Yeah.
What is the unique food in Eritrea when it comes to main national food? Not just what you cook in your restaurant here, but I want to know first the unique.
The bread. The bread is what makes really special or unique Ethiopian Eritrea. You know, we have this flat bread. It's fermented like almost 2-3 days, and it's if we were there, could be then only 100% teff that grow only in Ethiopia, and it's right now called the superfood. So I think it's the bread that make Ethiopian Eritrea unique in this way. I mean, in other country you can find rice, you can find couscous, you can find fufu, other stuff, but then you go in Ethiopian Eritrea, you find this bread that is totally different from the other country.
For example, how do you make this bread in Denmark when?
We have some supplier that they bring from Ethiopia teff. If I want to be 100%, then I have to use only teff, but you can also mix it with other flours. So, yeah.
Now we've got the restaurant is open. So what is you expecting to have in the restaurant in coming months, years?
I hope that we can keep growing. I hope that we can have more people from other country coming and join us in cooking different food from different country, different culture. This is the hope.
And let's go back to fashion. What you're planning when it comes to fashion?
What I am planning when it comes to fashion is that my daughters, they are independent enough and move to Africa and do my design from Africa.
You not like intend to do the design for the Danish people?
Yeah, it can be for everybody, but not from here. I want to be home when I do this. Wherever in Africa, I don't mean Eritrea or Ethiopia. I mean everywhere.
Mm-hmm. But when you say that in Africa, you intend to one day return to Africa?
I hope soon, actually. Couple of years.
Couple of years.
Yes.
Why is that?
It's just a plan, you know. Of course, doesn't mean that it's going to happen, but I hope that it's going to happen.
That's exactly the question that I would like to
2-3 years to go in Africa and to start doing my clothing and to put together my passion for music, for art, wherever it is. Yeah.
Well, that's exactly fantastic, because this is what I always ask people if they don't have intention to go back to the country where they came from, or at least develop the continent, because we are lacking knowledge. Not because people are there not don't have knowledge, they have knowledge, of course, but bringing what people learn from this part of the world in order to bring there. So yeah, I mean, you already start to answering the question. So the idea is for you to bring or to bring what you learn from.
I'm still learning.
Yes, but what you for what you already acquired from this part of the world. You talk about you live in Italy. Yeah. Now you're in Denmark. Yeah. Bring all
it would be nice. Yeah, it would be really beautiful to do that. You know. Yeah. And I'm sure that if I go in Africa, I will just learn more and more of the thing I have been always dreaming to see, you know. So it's not just going and teaching. It's like really going and learning more, growing maybe too.
What exactly you miss for all these years that you've been living in Europe? What you miss in Africa or in Eritrea, Ethiopia?
What I miss, I don't miss anything about the country because I have never lived for real in Africa. You know, I was born in Africa. I left Africa when I was 8-9, and I don't really think that you can miss so much about that period of your time, you know. But what I really miss is maybe the person I could have been if I was there. So it's not like missing someone or missing the country. It's maybe that I really want to meet the person I could have been. That's completely different, you know. It's not easy to grow up in Europe, and then you know that you are African, but then you go home, you are a tourist. You come back in Europe thinking that you are home, you are treated like a foreigner. So it's like always this big fight, you know, between you and you. I don't know.
Big fight between you and you.
Yeah, it's because you never know who you are wherever you go, and it's not easy, you know. It's not easy. So I'm trying to put together those two people.
So do you think that is create like a how to call it mental problem towards us?
We don't talk about mental problem. We are African, you know. We don't like to talk about this topic or this issue.
Okay.
Yeah, we are just we like to think that we are different, but of course it make like you know, everything is difficult because we come from family where we don't speak about identity crisis. We come from family we don't speak about conflict. We come from family where if you have enough food, you have education, what's your problem? So you find out later that something is missing and you don't know. So you have just to try to find what's going on. And for me, it was since I was 16, 17, I knew that I was fighting, and I never knew what since I started putting together the things. I was missing home, but and then I was home, you know. Italy is my home in somehow. Then I go back in Eritrea. It's like I'm a tourist because I don't know anything about my birthplace. So it's like you are always in this big bubble trying to survive. It's not easy.
Yeah, I understand it. I talked the other day, someone who explained almost the same as you're saying, which is is a problem that we need to...
Yeah, it's a problem. We don't like to talk about the psychology thing, you know. It's like we are just superpower. But we are left behind without mother, without father, and then it's okay. No one tells you what's going on, you know. You just wake up one day, your mom is not there, and you have just to live with it. It's what happened to many kids in Africa since. Yeah, your father is in Europe, he's going to work, okay, but you know, no one asks you how you feel about it. I think this is what makes us always like this
resilient and stronger.
Yeah. Stronger and somehow broken maybe, but we don't talk about this too. So we should start to talk about ourselves.
That is true.
Deeper and honestly with ourselves and honestly with our friends and family too, you know.
What the challenge you would be facing when it comes to moving to one place to the other, building the company that you are trying to, the restaurant? What the main challenge, and then what you're thinking to overcome all these challenges?
I mean, I like challenge. I always create challenge too. I don't know why, but I'm always challenging myself in somehow. But then if we talk from moving from another country or from one country to another country, it's weird, but probably because I grow up and probably I'm wiser, probably I don't know what, but I feel more home in Denmark than nowhere else right now. I think it's also because I don't know, but I feel really home in somehow in Denmark.
Last time when I came here to this place where we are now, this restaurant here, which is you are running, you had this beautiful event where you guys invite musicians combining Eritrean, Ethiopian food and the music, where you invite many Africans young living in Denmark. Tell a little bit about this this experience, this event. Why? I mean, you already said that you like to combine all these things. Tell a little bit about that.
I mean, it's something like we were planning in this place. They were planning, the municipality, all the just festival and something like that. And for me, since I'm here and since I'm African, and since I really like to organize events in music or stuff like this, I thought that was a good idea if we can just also put in the plan something that talks about us. And We have been also talking about all the Black Lives Matter, all this summer. I don't like to talk about politics. I'm not good in that kind of conversation. So for me, it was important to talk about Africa, our music, our art, and to celebrate ourselves in somehow, you know. And I think it was really a success. We had many artists playing together in the same stage. It was beautiful. Then we did the second with the young generation. And I think they were all happy about this idea. And I hope that it can just grow, become bigger and bigger.
I think to be bigger, you and your colleague,
yeah, all of us. I mean, you know, it was just an idea that I have in my head, but I couldn't never be able to put it together without Deodato. I just call and say, "Hi, brother, we have to do something about this. Are you in?" And he was just boom, yes, and we did it. And so I'm really grateful to Deodato and all the musicians. It was also a short notice, and during the coronavirus, you know, it's not easy to put together all this stuff. But we did it in somehow, so yeah.
Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you to you.